All right, so I'm going to do a little follow-up here on the accident and how we got the car repaired and everything like that. But first of all, I want to thank, the people out there that, expressed their, their care to us. Thankful that we weren't hurt, that nobody, even my family, nobody was hurt. Thank you very much, and I really appreciate it. And of course, you have the haters out there that always have something negative to say about things like this. Even had somebody that literally said, well, I wish you and your family were in the accident and got hurt. Kind of low-life piece of trash is that. But anyways, once again, thank you very much. So yeah, the next day after the accident, like I said, I went down, or we had agreed to go meet up and have his body guy check it out. And that's what I did. I went down there. His body guy checked it out. He actually wanted to start on the car the same day as I was down there, but I had other things I needed to do, so I couldn't leave the car there. So we came upon agreement, that his body guy was going to do it. They were going to search for the mounting bracket for the side mirror and the bracket for inside the mirror. And that's what they did. So the next day I did go back down, I dropped the car off, and we talked. There was no, there was no body damage as far as any, thing, like the body wasn't smashed in anywhere or crunched in anywhere, anything like that. It was mostly just surface damage. It could all be buffed out. That's actually what he did. He buffed it all out. He buffed out actually the whole entire side of the car. The side mirror, he found the mounting bracket for the outside that attaches to the car, and the bracket for inside the side mirror. So he replaced all that, wired everything up, hooked everything up, came back afterwards and checked everything, and it looked perfect. There was no paint involved, so there was no matching of paint or anything like that. Yeah, the whole car looked perfect. I couldn't complain about anything. Didn't charge me a penny, as we agreed upon. He did though try to get me. He gave me a call, and he said that by him buffing out the side of that car, that it wouldn't match the rest of the car. Like that would be, brighter or shinier than the rest of the car. So what he wanted to do was, he wanted to charge me 2,500 pesos to buff out the rest of the car. Him saying that it would, the whole car then would blend together. I told him I would get back to him. I didn't give him a yes or a no. I learned if, with things like that, you want to kind of price around and check around to make sure you're not getting taken advantage of. So yeah, he did want to try to get some money out of me. I don't know. Like I said, I told him I'd get back to him. So actually what I did was I turned around and did my research. Talked to a friend of mine, and he said no. He goes, that's way too much. Talked to my landlord here, and he said no. He goes, for 2.5 you can go up the road and you can get it done. You can get your whole car completely detailed on the outside, inside, and your engine pressure washed and clean for 2.5. He said usually an outside detailing like that will run you around 1.5 to 1.8, depending on where you go and who does it. So after listening to other people and getting their advice, I contacted him back, and I told him no, I don't want you guys to do it. I'll handle it. I'll take care of it, and that's what I did. But everything looks great now. Everything looks, back to new. When I mean back to new, as good as it looked prior to the accident. It is a 2012 car I have. It does have some little nicks and dings in it, and that's to be expected. When living here in the Philippines, and I bought it secondhand, so I never really had it from day one to really, take as good care of it as I would. But anyways, I did get a lot of good advice from a lot of people. A couple people said, get mirror or get what do you call it, cameras inside, one for the front, one for the back. good advice to have. A lot of good advice. Like I said, you don't know what to do until it actually happens to you. And you hear the horror stories of how the foreigner always gets taken advantage of here, and they're going to screw you over, and they're going to do this, and they're going to do that. In this case, the foreigner here didn't get screwed over. I mean, everything happened, and everything got done. What we agreed upon, what was said. I do want to. This one guy did write a very good article and a comment here. This guy here he was a taxi operator for over 7 years here in the Philippines, and he said he's had plenty of accidents during his time as a taxi cab driver. And if he's a taxi cab driver in Manila, he probably has. He's saying he had 2 or 3 every month, and I've been to Manila, and if you've ever been to Manila, you would probably agree. But anyways, his comment here is, and I'm gonna read it. It says, okay, here's how it should work. First, you call the police. While waiting for the police to arrive, do not move your car. Also, the other car cannot be moved as well. While you're waiting for the police to arrive, you can call your insurance. You make some pictures and a drawing because the insurance will need that. Make note of all damages. When the police arrive, they will hear both sides of the story, and of course they will ask if you've already reached a settlement. He says, do not do that. If your car looks still in very good condition, you are insured for things like this. Any repairs you agree on without the insurance are always at your own risk. Do not fall for that. It will be the insurance who will tow or drive the car to their repair garage, where they have some agreement. They will use new parts like your mirror. Your estimate of the repairs, including a brand new original mirror and a good paint job, was something like around 50,000 pesos. If you let this guy do the repair, they will repair it the Filipino way, which is never good. Cheap paint and surplus mirror. Also, no professional work, and you cannot complain anymore to your insurance. Let the insurance do the work. If by chance the other party don't agree with the police will call an investigator. Both parties will need to wait until he arrives. As long as he didn't see it with his own eyes, you cannot move the car, and believe me, it can take hours before he arrives. Never mind, you are right, so let the police and the investigator handle it. It's their job. Of course, the other party will try to prevent that. He will want a cheap repair because the repairs will cost a lot if the insurance will handle it. Most more, this friend, much more than this friend, in quotations, will ask. But you will be sure your car is again in the condition it should be. A Filipino repairs the car. If a Filipino repairs the car with sticks and stones, you're never sure exactly. They bear with me because it's broken English. You are never sure what exactly they do with your car, and you lose all your rights. Do not let them touch your car. It's always nice if you can gather some witness who saw the whole thing, but it's going to be hard to find one. Everyone knows everyone in the area, and they will always protect the Filipino, not you. One more thing, the investigator has the last word. What he says goes. If his finding doesn't suit you, you will have to go to court to fight it. Many people will say there are no traffic rules in the Philippines. Of course, that is not true. There are plenty of rules, but most Filipino drivers don't know these traffic rules. In fact, most of the police don't even know these traffic rules. Besides that, Filipinos think that traffic rules, if they know some really exist, will only count if someone sees it. Example, Filipinos believe you are able to drive through a red light as long as no enforcer sees it. So after 6 p.m., they will say, oh, the police is sleeping now, so never mind. Like in many cases in the Philippines, they think they are always right. So no use to start arguing with them. They think they know everything, and you cannot convince them otherwise. Call the police always. Like I said, this is coming from a Filipino guy, not me, not a foreigner. This is coming from a Filipino person here in the Philippines who was a taxi cab driver for over 7 years. He didn't say where exactly he was from, but he said, you know, I tend to believe him. He would know the law because taxi cab drivers do get in fender benders, and it's a common thing. So anyways, without further ado, let's go check out the car, and I'm going to show you, you know, the car and what great job was done to it to repair it. All right, guys, you ready? Here it is, the finished product. So yeah, there it is. Remember the front end through here, the front wheel well here, had all that scratching up and through here, all up in here. You can see that's all cleaned out. The side door right here, all the side door damage through here, the scratches and everything like that. That's been cleaned up, as you can see. It looks good. Side view mirror here, or driver's side mirror, you can see. Works both ways. Bracket's been repaired. Everything works good, as you can see. Like I said, this mirror here is an electronic mirror from inside. That does work. I did check that, make sure that was working, you know, prior to leaving there, and that does work. And then of course the back wheel well right in through here had all that scratching and banged up all up and through here, or scratched up all in through there, and that was cleaned up. Like I said, I did have some little scratches here in the car, you know, prior to the accident, little things like that and stuff like that. But anyways, you know, there it is. There is the finished product. Looks very good. Very good job. I did get it washed the other day. Actually, when I picked it up, I did get it washed. Make sure everything, you know, everything was good. Everything was taken care of good. But yeah, I mean, I think the guy did an excellent job. But she's back, she's running, she's in good shape. Like I said, it's a 2012 Kia Rio, and it's back. It's back on the road, and thank God everything worked out great. And you know, like I said, thank God everything worked out great. And I wasn't one of those horror stories that you hear so much about here in the Philippines where the foreigner gets screwed over. But anyways, once again, thanks for everybody's concern, and I guess the journey continues.